Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're well. First of all, I'm going to start off by saying I'm really sorry. You might hear my son giggling. He's upstairs playing with a friend online, and yeah, he'll probably be laughing and giggling. So if you do hear that, that is my son. If I wait for a quiet moment in the house, I will wait forever and I'll never get anything done. So I'm going to crack on, and hopefully the noise won't be too bad. I've been having lots of lovely chats with my slimmers this week, and the theme that we've been talking about a lot is the non-scale victories. And I know that when we often think about our weight, a lot of us will go to, I want to be X amount of pounds. I want to be X amount of pounds or stones or kilos, and there's a number attached to it. And therefore we become a bit of a slave to the scales. And as I've grown older, and as I think about my life and what makes me happy, I'm less bothered about the scales. And what I want to do is focus on more of those non-scale victories, on how I feel. And I'm sure that you can relate to some of these situations, events where we have been blinded by our fear because of our current weight, and what it means to us when we experience these type of non-scale victories. And I'm talking about non-scale victories like being able to take our rings on and off. For some people that can be a real barrier. And one of my clients, she specifically came on plan because she was celebrating her 25th wedding anniversary, and she wasn't able to put her wedding ring and engagement ring on, and that was her goal. Her goal was, I just want to be able to, for our anniversary party, wear my wedding and engagement ring. So that was a real focus and a goal of hers, and an amazing non-scale victory. There are other amazing non-scale victories which are really quite emotional. A common one is no longer having to ask for an extension seatbelt on an aeroplane. Another really important one, which is quite a private one, it's not something that we initially share as wanting to be a non-scale victory, but when we achieve it, we're so happy to share about it. And that is the thigh rubbing, the chafing. When we're in hot, unbearable weather, we sweat. Our walking becomes uncomfortable, swelling around our feet, our ankles, our digits. It's really uncomfortable. And when we no longer experience that because of the weight we lost, it's a really proud feeling, and something that obviously we want to share. Other things like being able to, with confidence, go swimming in public. And that could mean also having the confidence to go out running in daylight rather than waiting until it's dark to go out running. Going out on a bike ride with your kids, not having to scan the room when you walk into it to see whether there are suitable chairs for you to sit on. Other amazing non-scale victories are to be able to go into a high street and walk up and pick clothes off the rack and try them on without that fear of, is this going to fit me? And not having that selection and that variety of clothes that makes you feel good because of our size. There are so many other non-scale victories. To be able to reduce your medication, to be able to say, you know what, I was on this medication, and now that I have got my blood pressure under control, I'm no longer needing that blood pressure medication. It could go even to the fact of going a step further, of reversing your type 2 diabetes, which we know via the droplet study that we can reduce our type 2 diabetes with diets like the one-to-one, which is so powerful, because if you are type 2 diabetic, you are most likely going to be on medication for the rest of your life, but you can reverse it. Other ailments that you and conditions that you can reverse by weight loss is sleep apnea. And I remember a client of mine, she was suffering with sleep apnea, and she messaged me because she went to her nurse and she was measured for a smaller mass because she had lost so much weight around her neck, which obviously is having an impact on her sleep apnea. So every time that she was going back to get measured, the nurse was having to readjust her mask to the point where that she had reversed her sleep apnea, which is so powerful. And it can really be life-changing. Losing weight has the power to change your life if it is affecting you with your confidence, with your health, with so many different aspects. So when we think about our weight loss journey, it's hardly ever about the number. It is about that feeling of pride, of confidence, of look what I did. I had another client who, and I'll never forget this, she had a garage, a standard like flip up garage door, but next to it she had a regular door. So it was kind of like a double entry. She had a regular flip up garage and then a door that just opened like you would a normal door. The garage was packed, and it was like packed to the rim. She was not able to open the door and get through it because there was so much stuff backed up behind the door. She wasn't able to open up the door wide enough to get into the garage. So every time she had to go into the garage, she would have to flip over the garage door and enter the garage that way. Her daughter would just open the door regularly and walk through. And it got to the point where she had lost so much weight that one day she walked through that door and she was like, you know, for over 10 years, she was having to open up the garage door and walk through the garage that way. And for the first time in 10 years, she was able to open the regular door and walk through it. And she said that, you know, for something that would be so insignificant for so many people, that for her was a real defining moment of how much weight that she had lost. I think that we underestimate the power of and the value as to how those feelings can really make a difference. So next time you think about your weight loss journey and what it is that you want to achieve, don't focus on the number. Focus on how you want to feel, that pride, you know, that confidence, that new, you know, well-being. If you're able to reduce your medications and reverse some of your conditions because of how you have chosen to make decisions and to empower you so that you make a healthier life for you, because that's ultimately what we're in search of a healthier, happier lifestyle. And if all of these non-scale victories means that you can go out, you can wear a lovely skirt, you don't have to worry about thigh rubbing, you can you know, in the summer you don't need to feel like you need to wrap up and cover your arms because you're so self-conscious, and we've all been there. I used to wear these awful ponchos in the heat of summer because I was so paranoid about my arms. And when I started to lose the weight, I had the confidence to go to the gym, and I loved that feeling. I loved that feeling that I was in control and I was finally doing something that made me feel good. And I'm still proving that point. 9 years on, I'm still maintaining my 3 stone weight loss, and I love how it makes me feel. It's not about the number on the scales. It's that feeling of getting up in the morning. I don't have to worry. I don't have that dread of like, oh, what am I going to wear? How am I going to look? Is it going to fit? You know, where am I going? Do I need to check out, you know, am I going to panic that I'm the heaviest person in the room? Is everybody going to look at me? Am I going to be able to fit into the chairs? I want to go swimming. All of that stuff that can really consume our heads. It is so liberating when we don't have to deal with that anymore. So if you are thinking about starting your journey and you want those non-scale victories, and it could be something so deep and personal, but it's so important to you, then say it out loud, share it, make it a priority so that you can start to focus on the life that you really want to live. And I can help you on your journey. So if you're looking to lose weight on the one-to-one diet and you're looking for a virtual consultant, drop me a message. My consultations are free of charge. Let's have a chat. Let's really get into the powerful why, those non-scale victories that are really going to motivate you and keep you disciplined to getting the results that you want. I'm here. Drop me a message. Please like and subscribe and all of that YouTube stuff. I would really appreciate it. But yeah, hopefully I'll hear from you soon. But yeah, see you soon.